Okay, this video is how I actually make hundreds of million coins an hour auction flipping and lowballing. Like literally, I logged on for 10 minutes yesterday and made over 100 million coins. This video is gonna be 20 tips on auction flipping and lowballing. If you watch this whole video and listen to all my tips and tricks and still aren't making at least 50 mil an hour, you're gonna be doing something wrong. This is genuinely the only auction flipping / lowballing thing you'll ever need. And if you don't skip any part of this video, I can almost guarantee that you'll be able to make millions of coins an hour. Like there's a reason I have like a 10 billion coin net worth, but I'm only Hypixel Skyblock level 146. We are here in lobby 1, and my first tip is going to be how to get people to actually join your lobby, because like you can see all these people advertising lowballing in chat. Not all of them are getting guests so they can lowball. So what I'll do is I'll first send out a message like this. You can lie about your purse, it's honestly fine. I recommend doing that because people will trust you more, because like I have a 10 billion coin net worth, but I mean I don't have 2 bill as of now. So like I'll say this, and then I'll follow that message up with like any items or something, and then any items except for minions. And you can see like my message stands out a lot from like most of these messages in chat. Alright, so just advertise a bit and you'll get some people on your island. Yeah, like I have 4 people right now. Okay, tip number 2 is to make a list of items. Like if you don't have a lot of coins, this can be just as good or even better than actually just lowballing. Like I used to flip from like 1 coin to a billion for fun and stuff, and I would use this method to get at least like 500 million of those coins. Like for example, you can have one of the items on the list be like a Shadow Fury. This looks like a 2 or 3 million coin flip. And once you search through all the Shadow Furies, then you can move on to an item like Final Destination Armor, and there's like a 2 million coin flip right here. Write down like a list of 20 items that you know are like high demand and high volume, and just cycle through them for like an hour and just keep finding flips. Doing this can easily make you like 100 million coins an hour. Okay, tip number 3 is to take risks. Like I see way too many people too scared to buy an item because like 1 enchantment or something. Like this Hyperion I got in like 8 hours of flipping or something by just taking risks. Like obviously you don't need to buy like candied pet with skins or whatever. Leave those for me. But if you see like an Enderman pet with like an expensive skin or something, and if it's a good flip or something, then just take that risk. These items sell like a lot faster than most people think. My next tip is to use sky.cofflenet.com. I know a lot of you probably already use this, but just so easy to find the exact item you're looking for. Like if you want to buy like a Chimera 2 recombobulated dataless axe, you can really just put all of those filters in and see all of the past sales. Also, while you're on there, if you search my name, you can see my past auction sales as well. My next tip is to use the Skyblock Z Discord server. But if you're like driving in a car or something, you can literally lowball like while you're driving. Okay, not while you're driving, while maybe if you're sitting in the back or something. I used to make 100 million coins going on the bus from my school to my house. Go to the lowballing channel on their Discord server and just DM people who are selling items, or advertise that you're selling items or something and DM you. My next tip is purely for lowballing. Do not budge. You can try to meet in the middle a little bit, but overall you gotta stand your ground. This is because most people who are trying to get their items lowballed are desperate. Either because they're too lazy to sell their item on the auction house, or they need coins immediately. More often than not, you're going to get a better deal if you stay stubborn. Whenever you buy something from either lowballing or the auction house, never ever sell it to another lowballer, even if it is profit. You can always make more money by just selling it on the auction house. And if it doesn't sell after a week, you can just relist it for a little bit less coins. I've gotten stressed about like really expensive items not selling, and I've just relisted them for like 10 mil cheaper and they sell immediately. Okay, this next tip is really important. Use common sense, but low-key common sense isn't that common anymore. Like if you see someone offering you some strange item that you've never seen before, and they want you to buy for like hundreds of millions of coins, then it's probably market manipulated. And if someone's offering you an item that doesn't really have any past 8 sales, then there's no need to buy that item. It's just one item. Never get too caught up over one item. Never get too distracted by lowballing. Some people will lowball and they'll go on the auction house and see like the lowest price of item, and they assume that's what they should sell for, even when that item itself is possibly a flip. So just make sure you don't have your blinders on when you're lowballing. This next tip is so overpowered, I don't know how more people don't know about this. Every New Year's from the baker guy, that's like normally right over here, you get a New Year's cake. And look how much they sell for. But not only that, on the day they're given out, you can literally just keep refreshing the page and get flips. I think I've gone from 1 mil to 70 mil doing this on a brand new account. It literally requires like 500,000 to 1 million coins to do, because they sell so fast when they first come out as well. And this same thing goes for pretty much every free item that's given out and is able to be sold on the auction house. So if you're a semi-poor flipper and you want to get enough coins to actually start flipping, do this. I am telling you, it makes tens of millions of coins an hour no matter what stage of the game you're at, no matter how many coins you have. If you want to AH flip and you have 2 little auction slots, then just get a friend who you trust or doesn't play Hypixel Skyblock. You'll gain 3 auction slots per person you add. Like I literally just have 2 people on my co-op who never play, so just so I can have some more auction slots. But again, like, I'm at a stage where I only flip expensive items, so I really never fill up my auction slots anymore. But I used to have like every single one of my auction slots filled. I used to do this all the time when I first started flipping. Make sure to keep track of how many coins you're making per hour. This way you'll be able to see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Because if you're only making like 40 million coins an hour, you want to know what you need to do to improve that. And also it's just satisfying to see how many coins you make in an hour. I don't do this as much anymore, but it was definitely helpful when I first started. This next tip has made me at least 10% more money when I auction flip. For example, whenever I see a good flip like this one, this is like maybe like a 4 million coin flip, I'll party the person and ask for like a 39 mil or maybe 40 mil for this item. So I turn a 4 mil flip into like a 7 mil flip. Most people say yes to like whatever you offer as long as it's reasonable. Just because people don't care that much about a million coins, at least people who are selling juju bows. But for you the flipper, that adds up a lot over time. I would even do this with like expensive items, even over like a billion coins or 100, 500 million coins. It's basically like a combination of lowballing and auction flipping. In worst case scenario, you just buy the item anyway. But if something's a really good flip, then just buy it as quickly as possible, because other people might want that same item whether it's for flipping or not. So you're gonna have to use your intuition a little bit here. My next tip is to set goals for yourself. So like for this Hyperion, I was like, I'm gonna go from 2 bill to 4 bill in like a week. And because I set that goal, I was able to stay disciplined and do it in much less than that time. I even soulbounded it. Just set yourself like increment goals. Like this week I'll have a 1 billion coin net worth. Next week I'll have like a 2 billion, and next week after that I'll have a 4 billion. Making coins lowballing and auction flipping is so easy once you get the hang of it. So just don't give up. Do your best when lowballing to buy multiple items at a time. Like if you can find people selling you full armor sets or a lot of their pets, or maybe like a full 4-7 setup, that means they're often trying to liquidate their profile and sell everything they own so they can buy something really expensive or do something with their coins. It usually means they're flexible and sometimes impatient because they'll have a lot of things to sell. And generally you can get good deals. So generally try your best not to turn down any lowballs with like a lot of items. I've honestly made like an 100% margin doing flips like these sometimes, which can be up to like 100 to 500 million coins. Tip number 16 is to never buy minions or anything else you can't sell in the auction house. This is going to take up way too much of your time and not always be profit, speaking from experience. If you lowball minions, you might as well be farming in Skyblock Lobby 1. It's just such incredibly little profit even if you buy them in bulk. And like I said, anything else like minions that you can't sell in the auction house, don't even consider buying. And don't try to craft flip them either. This next one isn't really a tip, but it's still genuinely useful to know. I would say lowballing is a lot less consistent than just AH flipping. I generally lowball because there are bigger profits to be made, but it's also high risk and you have to be knowledgeable on the items. So if you don't have that much money and you just want to make like 50 to 100 mil an hour, I would go with just AH flipping. It's also a lot more chill because you don't have to interact with anyone. You can like watch a movie or watch YouTube videos while you're doing it. But yeah, for more experienced, richer players, I would choose lowballing. And for less experienced and poorer players, I would just choose auction flipping. And obviously in between can do some sort of combination of both. Okay, this tip can be very profitable, but it can also get you like no money. So sometimes people will say, check my gauge for 655 drill or selling something and selling it for like a low ball or something. This guy's selling for 70 mil. I'm not sure what. But basically you just find expensive items in lobby 1 and just attempt to lowball them. But yeah, this can definitely be very profitable. I made multiple hundreds of millions of coins off of this. You can also be advertising lowballing and see some of these messages and then party those people too. So it's like a 2 for 1. This next tip is to lowball items that you already know. Because if you're lowballing and auction flipping items that you don't know and you're new to lowballing auction flipping, that is a recipe for disaster. So all you gotta do is stick to items you know until you get consistent and good at lowballing and auction flipping. Then you can move on to bigger and better items. Cause like honestly I swear I don't know half the items I buy these days. Okay, and this very last tip is for the rare ones who stuck through the whole video. If you genuinely applied all my tips and still can't seem to make any money, then put your Discord in the comment section where I can send you a private message and help you personally to auction flip and lowball. But I honestly don't think you'll need that, so just use what I said in this video and get rich. And also please subscribe and drop a like because it helps me out a ton.